Everybody, welcome to part 3 of episode 20 of the Minecraft series. For those of you who watched the second episode, I made it clear that I didn't really love the idea of having a third part. To be real honest, didn't really love the idea of having a second part of this either. I wanted each episode to be like a one-off thing, but you know, I did say that episode 20 was going to be... I kind of tried to make it clear that episode 20 was, at least in my eyes, going to be kind of a bigger thing, and I mean, I feel like it has lived up to that. Certainly feel like it's lived up to that, considering I'm here making a third part to one episode, but either way, welcome back. Obviously, if you saw the first part or the second or both, I'm building what I am referring to as the Grand Hall, because I'm gonna, at some point, probably not this episode unless I finish it and have a bunch of time left. Well, actually, I don't know. I might just finish the episode with like a tour of this, and then, because I don't want this one to be super long. I feel like that wouldn't really be fair, but either way, at some point, I'm gonna fill this with the hall with villagers, and it'll be like kind of the main point for this. Gotta do a little bit of organizing stuff. I'm gonna take another thing of things. But yeah, this is gonna have villagers in it, and it's gonna be where they are, like where I'm gonna have all of my like librarians and stuff. So yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And grab the other thing of logs. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. There we go. Gotta light it up in here a little bit. It's getting a little dark. Anyway, so for those of you who were here for the last episode, I did a rant about, or I guess I don't want to say rant, but I told a story about being in theater, and actually I just got done telling it because I'm recording this one right after I recorded episode 2, like I said I would. But anywho, I'm trying to think of other stories that I could tell. So I guess I will start with the shows that I've been in. So I have been in, let me think. I've done theater since I was in 5th grade. Like I said last episode, when I was in middle school, it was only 1 a year, but in high school, it's 2 a year. So, there's that. So I have been in, let me, 6 shows throughout my life. I believe that's right. And I have enjoyed all of them. I mean, that's personally just because I enjoy acting. You know, I mean, to be fair, some of them I've enjoyed more than others, but I feel like a big reason for that is, okay, in my eyes, actually, I'm going to sound like a real genius saying this, but theater, at least to me, I feel like really depends on the people. Um, and you know, you could be sitting in your chair or laying in your bed, however you're watching this, being like, really? The theater depends on the people? Who'd have guessed? Yeah, I don't just mean it in the sense that like, oh, well, you can't put on a show without people because you got to have people who are obviously doing the acting and people doing like worrying about stage crew and like props and audio and stuff and lights. I mean, like it depends on the people in the sense of like if you're in a production with people that you get along with or people that are generally just like nice, kind people, then I feel like you're gonna have a really good time. You're being set up for an amazing show. I've had I've been in shows before with people like I mean obviously the shows that I've been in the past couple years have all had a lot of the same people. And so I mean obviously because of that I've built relationships with a lot of people and so I know a good number of those people really well. Um, but there's been shows that I've been in actually I kind of think of it as like there's a curse where every year for every show that I've been in, there's some sort of drama in one way or another. Um, at least some sort of drama that I've been a part of, whether I just know about it or it concerns me in some way. Um, and, you know, when you're in a situation like that, then it's easier to not have a good time in theater, which I mean, I feel like if you're um, if you're in theater and you're not enjoying it, then you probably shouldn't be in it. Not that I think you should just skip out on it because you think you might not enjoy it because I being completely honest, I was there too. Um, where I thought that, you know, I'm like I said last episode, I didn't really consider myself to be a very social person. And I mean, I still don't really consider myself very social. I don't really do good in situations with like a whole bunch of people, like big crowds. That's just a personal thing, but um, you know, it's just it's a factor that kind of plays into theater, right? Big large amounts of people. But anyway, um, I don't think you should skip out on it if just because you think, oh wow, I got a lot more wood than I thought I was going to need. Um, yeah, so I guess I'm going to explain this real quick for context. When I was getting all of these materials, I like the logs and stuff, I didn't count them out. I was just going based off of like assumption that I thought that I had used a lot more logs than I guess than I actually did. Um, but I was planning it to like with the smaller stuff, like the amount of slabs that I used, or like the amount of fences that I used, because I used fences as like the railings and around here. I was willing to sit and count that out because I knew there wasn't a lot, but I didn't feel like sitting and counting out all the logs because I felt like there was a whole bunch of them. Now, I guess evidently there wasn't as much as I thought, so I'm gonna have a bunch of extra wood now, which I mean is good anyway because, you know, wood is kind of essential. Um, but I guess that's it. So, anywho, um, actually, I think with that, I'm done. So, I'm gonna go put this stuff away, and we'll give a tour, and then maybe I'll breed these villagers a bit to get some people in there. I'll kind of prepare it for getting villagers in there. But anyway, back to my theater story. So I have been in shows with people who have been really amazing, and you know, that's always a good thing, because then you get to go and you get to go like to practices every night or every couple nights, and know that you're gonna have a good time because you have people there that are like actually will, like people that care about you. I like to think of my cast for shows that I've been in, whether they're people that I like or not. I like to think of everybody as kind of a big family, and I'm sure some directors out there will say that. But you know, it's just all around, it's a good time if you get along with people. But I remember for, what was it? I think my third show that I had been in, third show ever, which would have been, so I've been in, like I said, I've been in a number of shows. So when I was in 5th grade, I was in the show Mary Poppins Jr., which was what I would deem a good introduction into theater. And then 6th grade, I was in the show Newsies Junior. All of the middle school shows that we did were junior shows. So they're not necessarily as long, and they don't have super giant like set pieces. In my case, none of the middle school shows had set pieces. Aside from like we had like painted backgrounds, hand painted backgrounds, which is actually really cool. And we still use those in high school shows, but then in 7th grade, I was in Matilda Jr., and in 8th grade, I was in Alice in Wonderland. So anyway, when I was in Matilda Jr., I played Harry Wormwood. I was Matilda's father. And so, you know, naturally, I had my kind of little group of people that was the Wormwood family that I was going to be spending a good amount of time with, just kind of getting to know. I just realized I skipped past the shows that I was in high school. So it's summer, but I'm going to be a sophomore this coming fall. But for my freshman year in high school, I was in The Sound of Music, and then the play, obviously, I talked about last episode, was This Murder Was Staged. Anyway, when I was in Matilda Jr., I, even before that show, I had been kind of, or I had like gotten close with a good amount of people that do theater, because you know, like I said, it's kind of the same batch of people each time. So it's not as much of getting to know people when you're doing it for like years and years, as it is of like just working again with the same people. So the people that were in like the little Wormwood family, I was already pretty good friends with all of them. And there was this girl who played the mother that ended up telling me one of the nights that she had like feelings for me. And me being in oh wait, no. I think Matilda was my 7th grade year. So me being in 7th grade, also me being a people pleaser, I made the dumb decision of being like, sure. And, I tried to be cautious about it. I remember being like, hey, sure, but if things don't work out, and I'll get to this, if things don't work out, I don't want it to like ruin our friendship. And she said that it wasn't gonna. Spoiler alert, it did. But anyway, so I had said yes when I did not actually like this person. And it lasted about a week, which I don't actually consider it a relationship, both because of the time that it lasted and because of the fact that I never liked her to begin with, at least not from a relationship standpoint. But I ended up saying something to her, just like, trying to be honest with her because I didn't want to keep lying to her and, kind of have her under the impression that there was something there when there clearly wasn't. And it made the rest of the show like hell, excuse my language, but it made it really just kind of insufferable because this girl was at least at the time, and she's gotten better. I mean, personally, I don't talk to her anymore, but this girl, what was I saying? This girl had like kind of made it a problem that was just between us, everybody's problem, which, I mean, I don't know if any of you have dealt with someone like that, but she ended up like complaining to one of the directors about it, who was my science teacher. Or no, he was the 8th grade science and social studies teacher. So I didn't have his class yet, but I was gonna. Anyway, she ended up bringing it up to him and like being super over dramatic about like how I supposedly like broke her heart and how she was so upset. And I mean, to be fair, she has every right to be upset. I'm not gonna say that she wasn't, because frankly, I mean, I would say that she probably was, but I just feel like the way that she was handling it was ridiculous. But either way, I remember talking to he was like kind of a co-director. The 8th grade science and social studies teacher. He helped out with the shows every year, and then it was the high school choir teacher who was like the main director for the high school shows, and he still is. He's a really great guy. But anyway, my socials, or not mine at the time, but the social studies teacher had said like, I remember him pulling me aside and being like, hey, I know that there's something going on between you two, but there's only like, because this was during our like dress rehearsal week. He was like, can you two just kind of he was just talking to me at the time. He was like, can you just kind of, put it past you till we put the show on, and then, go from there. And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I remember even talking with him. I was like, personally, I didn't have any problem with her. She was the one that was starting drama with me, or not starting, but like kind of causing trouble. And, I was kind of just being dragged into it when I didn't want to be. But anyway, he was just like, can you guys keep it professional, or can you try to keep it professional till the show is over? And then, we can go from there afterwards. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So obviously we finished the show, but like for the rest of the show, there was kind of this tension between us, and I feel like you could tell even as an audience member, um, which was personally I found that really unfortunate. Um, but I mean, not really like I could do anything except try to play it cool. Um, but anywho, so the show kind of came and went, and then after the fact, from what I can remember, at least, we didn't talk to each other for like a long time. Um, like, I mean, if she would see me, she was one of the people where even if she would see me, she would like glare at me and be just, for lack of better term, like annoying. Um, and I mean, I don't want to sound like she was all bad, because at the end of the day, she really wasn't. She's not a bad person. She was just, at the time, she was kind of a lot to deal with. Um, Not even just for the cast members either. And I'm saying that because I know that there was, I mean, I didn't have a problem with her, but obviously the whole drama thing was annoying to deal with. But I mean, even speaking personally, I wasn't the only person who had like drama or troubles with her. Um, so people kind of understood that it was annoying to deal with. Um, but anyway, so the show came and went, and then we didn't talk to each other for like a long time. But I ended up not necessarily because of it, but I ended up becoming really good friends with her sister. Um, Not good friends in the sense of like relationship standpoint, but good friends in the sense that like, you know, we're both really weird people. Like we have nerdy interests and stuff. Um, and I thought it was kind of funny because it was like, you know, from someone that absolutely hates me, I got to meet someone who I am honestly still close with to this day. Um, Not going to say their name, but, you know, if you're watching this, well, if you're watching this, first off, how did you find out about this? Because at least at the time of recording this, I did not tell you. But also, um, you know who you are. Um, and, you know, just thank you for being a nerd, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Um, um, but yeah, so moral of the story, and I know it kind of devolved into me ranting about this really drama-y person or dramatic person, but moral of the story, theater is really like, I feel like it is a big portion of, or a big part of it is you, what you put into it, you'll get out of it. But also, if you have people that are like just try to stay out of drama, because it's not good for anybody. And I know it's kind of ironic to say stay out of drama when people sometimes refer to theater as drama, or like people might call it drama club and stuff. Um, but um, um, you know, if if you have even the smallest bit of uh, acting like ability, I would say give theater a shot because it can really change your life. I mean, speaking from experience, it has absolutely changed mine in a number of ways. You know, I still have people that I met through that I talk to like every day or every couple days, like people that I'm really close with. So, um, I guess give it a shot. And I know I said that last episode, but yeah. Um, wow, I haven't thought about that story in a while. Um, Let me think. Other theater stories. Um, I don't know what else to say as far as. I mean, nothing's really jumping out at me as far as like, stories that would be overly interesting or worth sharing. Um, so I'm gonna probably just be quiet for a little bit, but we're not necessarily be quiet, but talk about the game on opposed to talking about, excuse me, um, on opposed to talking about theater or really anything else. I mean, I'm sure I'll think of something in a minute here, but um, I feel like I've done enough random talking about theater for a little while. Um, so anyway, what I plan on doing, I did not mean to do that. What I plan on doing with this building then is I'll have a villager in here, and then they can obviously have their job. Um, they'll be trapped in there with their little job thing. Um, Unless I decide to not do that. But I think what I'm gonna do with these little corners is have certain what is it? Have certain like librarians with certain enchantments in them, and then have them trapped in there so they don't like get out or die or something. But otherwise, I might have it open for them to like come out here. I'm not gonna just prioritize. I mean, I know mainly people like to go for just the librarians because enchantment books and whatnot. Um, but I'm probably my little vision, I guess, for this is like the main building where the villagers will live and stuff. But I'm gonna have like maybe a wall that comes out and goes around here, and then I'll have it open so that the villagers can come out and like maybe I'll have a farm or two out here for the farming villagers and have a little like have certain job stuff out here for the villagers. Um, but anyway, so I'm gonna go put this stuff away, and then I'll give a tour of this building. Um, what was I gonna say? I don't know. My mind is blanking. What was I gonna say? So, oh, I got it. So I am going to obviously record. I just recorded episode 2 earlier, and then I'm recording episode 3 right now. Or I mean, part 2 and 3 just now. But I am. Oh, what was I gonna say? Um, uh, Obviously, I recorded part 2 and 3 today. I'm probably gonna not post anything else today if I and I'll uh, make part 1 public as well when I make this, like when I put this out. But what was I gonna say now? I'm gonna put out a poll for at some point. I want to know because at some point I'll get around to obviously recording and playing through Undertale because that's what I'm gonna be. That was the series that I'm doing after, or like the thing that's causing me to take a break from Minecraft. I'm gonna put out a poll asking this. Should I release each episode like one at a time, kind of as I record them and as I'm able to upload them, or should I record them all and then post them all like kind of at the same time? So like instead of like obviously with kind of in this case, like with episode 20, obviously it's in 3 parts, but for the Undertale episodes, I want to know, should I post them like one by one like I've been doing with the Minecraft series, or should I like record them all and then post all of them at the same time, so it's like they all come out and you don't have to wait for them to come out to watch them. I guess I will see what I'm gonna have this chest be split into oak and spruce, but you know, should I have them all come out at the same time so you can like binge watch them if you want to, or should I have them come out separately in like one by one so you can so like people might have something to look forward to every couple days then? That's kind of the dilemma that I'm being faced with. Anyway, okay, time to give a tour. Actually, before that, where do I have extra wheat in here? Okay, I'm gonna just say screw it and make wheat out of the rest of these, and then give the villagers a bunch of bread and breed them. That way they can fill up the what was it, 6 beds that I put in the hall right now. And then I'll give the tour because I'll be down here anyway. Anyway, back to my dilemma, not dilemma, back to my question, because I guess personally speaking, I like to be able to binge watch stuff when they come, or when the episodes come out. Or I mean, like, I don't hate watching new episodes when they come out, but I feel like personally I prefer binge watching stuff more. Well, I can't open a door. Personally I prefer binge watching stuff, like having it all be out versus having to wait a while for. I'll leave. Oh. Okay. Personally, I like to binge watch stuff when all of it's out, on opposed to waiting for each episode to come out, because, like, you know, for certain people, like, editing, or not for certain people, but I mean, like, in some cases, obviously editing takes a while. So what was I gonna say? So you end up waiting like a longer time for each episode to come out, and like whatnot. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see the results of the poll and then go from there. But I'm gonna put that out probably later today and then wait. Anyway, so here's the final tour of the Grand Hall. So here it is from the outside. Um, uh, and then here it is obviously from the other side. If you are noticing, I used fence gates instead of like doors and stuff here. Um, the reason I did that is because, even if I choose to have the villagers like be able to kind of roam free in here, I want to be able to keep them in here and keep stuff out. And the villagers can't open fence gates, at least to my knowledge, they can't. I don't know about Java Edition, but in Bedrock Edition, they can't. Um, so there's that. Um, anyway, going in here, we have kind of the little. I'm gonna take my shield off. We have kind of the like main lobby area, if you want to call it that. There's not really much space up here, but I'm sure if people wanted to, um, you could like find ways to decorate it, like put paintings on the wall in here. Or actually, I might do that at some point. That's kind of a good idea. But you could put like paintings on the wall, or like just finding a way to decorate it. Or if you didn't want to have this railing here, you could have a whole floor up here with other stuff. Personally, I like to have this railing here just because I think it looks cool and have a little kind of balcony. Then you go down the stairs, and obviously it's mirrored on the other side. Um, and then currently I only have I have only of the corners out, but my kind of idea with this is, um, you know, aside from being able to make as many floors as you want, um, I plan on at some point, like I'll clear these out, and then I'll have two beds in there, um, and it'll be two villagers per like each little kind of set of each little 9x9 thing is going to be a room, and then there will be two beds in each and two little job posts, and then I might have it just open in the middle, or I might have like a fence gate or something to keep them in. I don't know. I have to decide if I want to let them roam free yet, but each little thing will be a room basically, and then um, obviously, if you would use this as a house instead of like use it for villagers, you could have like the top be kind of just there for decoration, or you could have it as like storage or something, and then down here you could have all your different rooms for like, you could have different rooms for organization, or you could have like your enchanting rooms, and you could have like little extensions out further into like underground. You could have farms and whatnot. That's what I mean by like it being modular. You could do whatever you want with it. But yeah, this is the this is the building, the Grand Hall, as I'm gonna call it, or as I have been calling it. Um, and I guess here it is at night. I know that this certainly took a lot. It certainly took a long time to make. I mean, considering there's three parts to this, but um, I feel like it ultimately was worth it because it has given me time to just randomly kind of talk about stuff, which I don't know, I guess for sure, but I feel like people enjoy listening to stories about random stuff. Um, so yeah, there it is. After after all the trouble, um, Anywho, let me see. Okay, yeah, see, I'm already 40 minutes in. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this episode here, or part 3 of episode 20. I'm gonna leave this here. Evidently, this is gonna be the final part to episode 20, because I completed what I aimed to complete. So, thank you everybody for being here. It means a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed this, despite it being 3 parts for one episode. I hope you enjoyed watching and listening to my stories. You know, obviously the next thing I post will the next thing I post will, well, I guess if I find like clips or something in my media gallery, I might upload those as well. But the next thing I'll be posting for a while will probably be Undertale. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually rather excited to be sharing that with you. I know that that's something that I'm passionate about, and so I hope that everybody else enjoys it. But um, um, yeah, so anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this episode, despite it being 3 parts, and um, you know, um, I'm. It means a lot that you watched this much or watched this far, um, and you know, I'm sure there'll be more to come. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out. I'm waiting for the music, but yeah, peace out, everybody. Have a fabulous rest of your day or night.